What's up, everybody? We got the dump. Yesterday I put out two videos and basically saying, the price doesn't look so good on some of these coins. They don't look finished. And the other part two video was a little late coming out, but it was recorded early in the day. But yeah, I'm just like, for example, if you look at Theta here, we were talking about this being like some type of descending triangle. And if you look at the measured move, it looks pretty close. So the lows could be in just about. So if you look at, let's see what that measured move would be here. Yeah, we're literally almost there. So maybe one more little low. And then we should potentially get some kind of some kind of retracement back up here. So all in all, Bitcoin looks to me like it could be, either this is a three-wave pullback, right? So we have a wave one, then we get a three-wave pullback, right? And then we go up 3, 4, and 5, and then it's complete. It's done, right? So you have this run up here, or actually you have this run up here, and then you have this flat, right? So that could be a 1, a 2. This is your 3, your 4, and now you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for your fifth, and then it's over. And then that's when the bear market starts, right? So, or you could have kind of like some Bitcoin distribution, kind of like what happened back in the day here. Right here. So you can kind of see like 1, 2, 3, and then lights out. So you make a top, come down, 1, 2, 3, lights out. Make a top, come down, 1, 2, 3, lights out. So if you look at what's going on over here, that could potentially, it's got some merit. It'd be kind of very weird if it was the same exact structure as before, because no two bear market tops are alike with Bitcoin. This would be the first, but anyways, you would have, 1, 2, actually you would have this come up here, boom, 1, 2, 3, take a top here. Basically, this is your start of your crash. This is a three-wave pullback, and then you come down, and then it's lights out. You could still get a big alt season in there, though. So those are the two ideas for Bitcoin. Which one's it going to be? It's very hard to know. Now, there's one more idea that this could be it here, and we have 3 up, and then maybe 3 back down, and then do those two alternate ideas, or those two, actually should say main ideas, or we have something, we keep trending down. If this is 1, 2, and we have 3, 4, and 5, and we break this low, and we come up and we get rejected, and then we come down again, then what we're probably going to get is a bigger retrace later on. So for example, this could be like an A, B, and then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, a big fat dump all the way back down here, a big liquidation, a big capitulation, or probably not capitulation, but more like a liquidation in the market. It'd be across the board. It wouldn't just be Bitcoin. It'd be everything that did this. It'd be the stock market. It'd be everything. And then we build a little bit of a base in here, maybe hit the low, get people very nervous, and then come back up and maybe just barely take out the high, and then it's over. Or somewhere in here. And then you get your fat, huge alt season right in there. So that could be another idea as well. I mean, there's a lot of things that could happen, right? This could have been already the 5th, right? Because you have 1, 2, and then you have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, right? So maybe 1, 2, 3, all of that's 3. Now we're going to flag out for a 4 here. We're going to continue to go down, continue to go down. Maybe not quite all the way down here. Maybe we do, right? And then we pop up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in April, May for that final rally up to 130, 140K when we get regulations, when we get some bullish news, and then you got your 1, your 2, your 3, your 4, and your 5. So that is also one of, I mean, it's kind of hard to pick a main idea because you're stuck in this range. It's really hard to know exactly which way it's going to go. But those are the ideas that I'm presenting. Now, the good thing is we can rule out what it's not. So if we start busting up, it'll actually be more bearish, right, than if we came down. If this here is 1, 2, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and it's finished, then you need an A, a B, and a C. So if we got that, that would actually be more bullish than if we were to if we were to pull back here and continue to go up, because that would sort of be the difference, right? We would get way up here as opposed to just barely up here. And then it would prolong the bull market, or our so-called bull market for Bitcoin. Most of these altcoins are just not in a bull market yet. They're not even close. They're struggling a lot. So, I mean, just take Aave for example. You have this beautiful wave. You come down here, you build all of this accumulation structure, you break out, you get into the retrace levels. To me, that, and if Bitcoin's in a bear market and then it's over, it would be all really for nothing. So what's more likely to me is that there's 3 options, really. We continue the bull phase and it will last a short amount of time. Or we have a big mid-cycle correction that could last up to 2 to 3 months. And then we go on and we complete the second half of the run. So 1, 2, and then 3. So 33%, 33%, 33%. So maybe we're 1/3 of the way there. I don't know. You know what I mean? So that it would make more sense, because if you look at all of this sideways chop in here, this is accumulation, right? And we break out, we get to the retracement level, but then if Bitcoin's in a bear market and we get rejected, then we can come down, but we can retest these areas and hold it as support. So I don't want people to get discouraged. Oh, it's over. But I mean, it could be over, but I don't think so. I think there's something else going on that we're just not totally gripping right now. Because you have 2 sides, right? You either have the bulls or the bears. I'm saying it's a little mixture of both, because, like, for example, let's look at another example would be, I mean, you also got XRP, but I was going to say Monero. If you look at Monero for just a second, you can see this is this took several years here, 2.5, 3 years. We broke out, we back tested. So it just seems to me that there's more room to go, right? Unless, of course, this is distribution up here, and then you come down into redistribution, and then it continues to go down. That could be the case, but I just don't really see that. But on the other side, we haven't had a complete breakout. We've had a little bit of a breakout, a back test, and now we're kind of holding this area. If we lose that area, then it's going to be questionable. But if you look at Monero so far, I mean, it's still holding up very nicely, very strongly. It hasn't had any big, massive dump yet. Like if you look at, for example, even Litecoin had a pretty big dump here. But even Litecoin, look at Litecoin, guys. Wow, look at it. It looks great. Look at, you have 3 down, okay? You could say 3 and 3 and then 5. There's 3 there, right? And then you have another 3 down. Now this could be 3 like this. It could get more complicated or complex, but I think we're close. So it's either going to be, you look at this. You have an impulse and you have a 3-wave pullback. That is bullish. That is bullish. So if we hold in here and we continue to go up, great. Because I could see that being 3 down, right? 3 up and then 3 back down, and then here's your impulse with a 3-wave pullback, and then we continue. So your 1, your 2, your W, your X, and your Y. So Litecoin looks pretty decent. Same thing with Link. It's not as nice looking, but you got your 3-wave move there. You got boom, boom, and then boom. You got an impulse. It looks like a 3-wave correction happening. But if we just dump and dump and dump and we get down here, then it's not gonna be that way, right? So let's look at XLM. So XLM took out the low. So this is not a 1 2 1 2. What we have here is a 1 2 3 4 5. This could be a 3-wave pullback, a 1, a 2, consolidate, right? Maybe even all the way down here, back at 33, 34 cents. Develop this 3-wave correction. So if this is a diag, a 1 2, develop a base, continue. Watch yesterday's video, part 2. I recorded that video before we broke down, and you can see, because this will be a short video today, but if you want more information on what I think is going to happen, watch that video yesterday, both the part 2 video. Jupiter is in another world, no pun intended. Bitcoin, we already talked about it. But yeah, even Bitcoin, we got this 3-wave pullback here. It's working. Let me look at the small time frames, see what's cracking in here. So this could be like a 1, a 2, a 3, a 4, and a 5. And then we get that divergence, the bullish divergence between the 3rd and the 5th. We develop a little bit of a base, and then we start rounding out, which could take the rest of the month. Okay? So that's why when we broke the top, I didn't like it, right? When we broke out here, I said, well, now it has to prove to me that it's going to be a legit breakout, but we instantly got rejected here. So anytime, that's not a good thing, right? We don't want to come up and take the top unless you're ready to break. If you're ready to break, break it. But if you're not ready to break, don't come up here and tap it, because it's just like tapping, a big beer keg. Once you tap it, it's tapped. It's it. I guess that's how it goes. And we talked about SHIB as well. I told you SHIB looks bearish yesterday. I said, yeah, it just doesn't look good. I go, there's a chance that it could be bullish, right? There's a chance. We're holding support in here. It looks okay. But we have this descending triangle, and you can see right here, specifically right here, this is where we did the video yesterday. And it took so long to get, we've had this winter storm here, and, we had some snow, some rain, so the internet was just terrible. But eventually I got uploaded. But anyway, I wish you could have got to seen it before it actually broke down. That would have been probably a lot helpful, much more helpful. But yeah, so what I'm seeing here is you got this diagonal coming up, right? And then you have 3 down, you have 3 up, and then you also have 1, 2, 3 down. This is actually pretty damn bullish, right? Because it reminds me, if this comes down and we capitulate down here, you're going to have to build a base in here, and then it's going to have to be a long ways back just to get to the retracement levels, let alone any alt season. I'm I'm not so sure you would have enough time to break it there. So that's why it's imperative that we hold this area down in here. So this area right here for SHIB, we got to hold it. We cannot take that. If we start taking that out, it's just not going to look right. I mean, you could take your fib level here, and I'm going to be more conservative with it. We already crossed the 702. So that's it. So I would actually even move my line up further to there, right? Now, if you're being a little bit more liberal with it, we just tagged the 702. So we do not want to break below that 702 and the 786. So could that be the count? I suppose so. That's the bearish, or that's the bullish count. The bearish count would be, because look at this wave here is only 3 waves. It's not 5. So that's why I'm a little bit perplexed with the whole thing, right? And when I say that, I mean, it's meaning for the bears, right? For the bearish perspective, it doesn't make sense, right? If this was a 5-wave move, then I could say this is a 1. We have a 3-wave pullback. That's a 2. And then this is a 1. We're the beginning of 1. We get a 2, and then a 3, 4, and 5. Right? Which would be terrible. And then if you zoom out a little bit, what this could be is, number 1, rise, crash, retrace. We come down into reaccumulation. We go sideways. We break out just like what XRP did. Or you have an A, a B, and then now you're coming down for C, which would mean taking this low out, which unfortunately, I just don't know if that's the case though. I don't think we're going to break this low. You see all of this down here? This took several years to build. So we went all the way up. We came all the way down. We built it up. We broke out. We back tested. We came up and we retraced it. But we had 5 waves in that retracement, which equaled the diagonal. Then now we're developing this 3-wave pullback. If we can go sideways in here and hold this structure, this is really good. And then we can break out. If we go back into this accumulation structure, then it's going to look to me like this is a 1, this is a A, this is a B, and this is a 1, 2, and now we're going down 3, 4, and 5 for a C, meaning we're basically going to have new all-time lows, which would be completely devastating for the SHIB people, right? So, and again, I think, did we talk about XRP? Not yet. Let's look at it. I got to hurry up. I got to get to my son's dentist appointment. But yeah, XRP looks beautiful. There's nothing wrong with it. I see a 3-wave pullback, just like we said yesterday. We have this triangle here. Usually when you have an upswing and then you consolidate and you break out, that's usually the case. You break to the upside. But if the whole market is moving down, then, and the whole thing, what it was is NVIDIA, right? NVIDIA is down like 15% today because there's a Chinese competitor, and everybody's worried about that. Open AI, Chat GPT, all that high AI stuff. Well, now there's Chinese competitor can do it for like 95% less cost or less efficiency or whatever, or more efficiency. Right. So everybody's like panicking, like, is this a thing? And I think this is just it's just like, for example, like Solana's network screwed up. Well, who cares? Then maybe obviously it's a big deal. They'll fix it and then they'll move on. Right. So this is actually a good thing. I'm glad that the Chinese competitor is better, because then it makes us work harder. Right. It makes the American companies, so it pressures them not to slack off. You know what I mean? So anyway, we have XRP here. I'm still looking at this as, the bad thing that this could be, the very bad thing is that this is a completed 5-wave move. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. We're done. That's it. It's over. And now we have a big ABC all the way back down to $1. That is totally a reality that we have to face, potentially, right? If that is the case, what would that be in the grand scheme of things? Well, it wouldn't change anything. All we would do here is we have a big wave 1, and we're flagging out here for a wave 2, all the way back down to 90 cents, even maybe even 85 cents. I don't know. And then we continue higher. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But if we did that, we would probably go way higher than $10. We would probably go way higher than $10, right? Because we would have reset the momentum in here. Here's your big resistance area right here. You have a big W pattern, and right when you get to the top, you're flagging out. You're cocking back. You're cocking back. You're cocking back. Bam. So that is if that is a 5-wave move and it's complete. If it's not complete, then we still have more to go, even, $7, $8, $9 or so. But what I can see here is that this 5th wave isn't complete. So we have a 1, 2. We have another 1, 2. This is 3. This is 4. And then we're going to come up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and get 5. And then the 5th wave is complete. But hopefully that 5th wave goes completely insane and we can get up to, let me use my handy dandy polyline here, right? We got a 3-wave pullback, boom, boom, boom. And then we really shoot up aggressively, like really aggressively. 7, boom. And then it's done. Now it looks more like a completed 5-wave. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now it looks complete, right? So that's the bullish idea. The other idea is, again, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's complete, and now we got to pull back to go higher later on, right? So that's what we have to figure out. That's going to be the tough part, right? So how do we know which ones are going to be? Well, if we start breaking that low, it's game over, right? We cannot lose this low. We cannot lose this low at 222. And worst case scenario at $2. If we break this, then it's most likely we're doing something much bigger. So that would fall under the category of a mid cycle or a mid bear cycle. No, a mid. So we're in a bullish phase and we have a mid cycle correction. We'll call it that, right? So a mid cycle correction, because honestly, here's your bear market. Here's your bull market. Where's the mid cycle correction? We don't have it. So we could have it for a couple months and then complete. Just like, ladies and gentlemen, back over here. Look what happened over here. You had a big pump. You consolidate and then you finished. Big pump, consolidate, and then you finish. So that could be a reality, depending on Bitcoin, right? So, but again, there's nothing to really worry about, in my opinion, not quite yet. Again, we still have regulations. We still have, the Trump tax cuts and, the Fed stuff. I mean, there's a lot. The XRP ETF, for example, we have the big thing is going to be the regulations, right? Once we get that, it's going to be good. So we could see for Theta finally has that 3-wave now, the 3-wave look, and we were just looking at it, but basically it's, I kept saying over and over and over, I go, guys, Theta just doesn't look right. It looks ugly to me. It looks, I'm not going to lie, it looks kind of ugly. So, and it, right here, we kind of broke down, right? So if we come up and we retest it and then we continue to go down, well, it's probably completing the C wave, because I'm not sure. Is this 3 right here? So 3 down, 3 up, and then we have 1, 2. This is 3. Then we get 4, and then 5. The 5-wave C leg is a diagonal. Then we come up in 5, we flag, and then we start breaking out. Something like that, right? It's hard to know exactly. Let's check out dominance. Dominance is kind of creeping up. It's still right here at the top. It still looks a little bearish to me. We maybe might break down. We could also break up too. It's a tough one here. Theta Fuel looks okay as well. I mean, we're coming down here, right? So you got your move there. You're starting to get a 3-wave look to it. You got an impulse. You got a 3-wave. A lot of times when you have a big A wave, you have a smaller C wave, you get that divergence in there, right? So let's keep looking here. ADA, I want to see what ADA looks like. ADA took the low. That's not what we wanted to see, but okay. We took the low. I got out of my trade. I was holding, I got Theta down here, and it triggered my 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 conditional order, which had to be below 95 cents. So, you know, say it's a safety net, right? So anyways, we have, this could also be a diagonal. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? And then you have A, B, C. Yeah, it actually looks pretty good. A, B, yeah, there's your diag. A, B, C, that looked just like the other charts we were looking at, and then continue. Maybe, I'm not saying the low is in. We could have more downside, right? Because again, this could be like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay? That could be a 5-wave move to the downside. So anyways, AVAX looks okay right now, but it actually looks like it needs a little bit more lower to go. So anyway, I'm going to take off, and I will catch you guys on the next one. Remember, not financial advice, just some ideas. Anyways, I'll catch you guys on the next one. Cheers.